What's good, y'all? What's good? Welcome back to Dad Beats. This is episode 16. And yeah, apologies for the late run, man. We're having technical issues. I'm just getting back in town from traveling to handle some family business, which we'll get into. Um, so I'm trying to get this Rodecaster Pro 2 set up properly, but I've been running into some audio issues. So my apologies for the late intro there. I didn't get to share the stream on Facebook, so while you're talking, I'll probably go ahead and do that and just take a minute. But yeah, thanks everybody for tuning in today. Very special episode, very important episode. Um, we definitely wanted to address some losses in the community. One big loss in the community, and definitely my father as well. So yeah, man. I'm not gonna get too much into it right now. I want to introduce my illustrious co-host, the King O Caesar. What's good, my brother?
What's going on, people? I'm always glad to be here. It's blessed that I have this time to be with you guys and to talk to you guys. I just feel great, and I love every moment of the stuff. So what I'm saying. I hope everybody's doing good today. I hope everybody's blessed, and let's get it.
Word, word. So yeah, man. Our last episode was about consistency, and that was 2 weeks ago. So my apologies for not being too consistent, but major loss in my family. We actually lost my father. It was actually August 5th. And since then, it's the 21st today. So the last 2 weeks have really just been a lot of kind of like whirlwind stuff going on with my fam. Um, trying to get his business affairs in order. And my pops lives in Chicago. I live in Georgia. My brother lives in Philadelphia. So getting our families together and going out to Chicago to pay our last respects to our father was like it was a lot of work. You know what I'm saying? It was a lot of work, a lot of logistics we had to handle. And we put it together. We went out there last weekend. I planned on running the show last weekend. We were trying to get everything together. We had the Brother Lift the Noise on. We have a special guest coming, but he's going to be here next week. And yeah, the schedule just didn't line up. I got to Chicago kind of late on last Sunday, and I wasn't able to get set up in time. With the family's Wi-Fi. You know how it goes. You visiting family, trying to get the Wi-Fi passwords and all that. So yeah, we weren't able to get up and going last week, and the week before that, I was just mourning, man. I was going through it. I really wanted to go live then, just in honor of my father, but I pretty much, just wanted to take things at a reasonable pace, man. And but I wasn't gonna miss 3 weeks. That would have been too much, and it really would have been against everything we've been talking about as far as consistency. So yeah, man. Once again, my apologies for us missing the last couple of weeks. As I explained, a lot of things going on. But this episode, we wanted to talk about a couple things aside from that. We lost a very important member of the MPC Gang community, Vincent Berry, who was known as Special Knowbodys. He had a YouTube channel. He would post his beats on, and he also would be very active in the MPC Gang Facebook group. Made a lot of friends in there. You know what I'm saying? Was just a really, really solid dude, really good dude. This is actually a hat from his brand, Special Knowbodys. He sent out to me last year. And it's definitely one of those things where I wanted to really show love to his work. He told me last year, working on the MPC Gang apparel and stuff that I do. He told me, it inspired him. He wanted to, work on his brand. I think he had already kind of had the idea for it, but we were like comparing notes as far as like manufacturers and stuff like that. So I always try to help out, however I could, as far as like point them in the right direction on the manufacturers that I trusted, and just trying to plug them in with the stuff that I use. But super talented brother, man. I want to bring up some of his work a little later, and definitely if we can have some of his friends, speak about him. I didn't know the brother that personally. Like we spoke on the instant messenger on Facebook a lot, because he was a moderator for MPC Gang. And just to kind of like give you some background on the moderators that I choose for the group, I try to choose guys that are very active in the group, but also level headed, people who know how to kind of diffuse things and don't really, want to go back and forth and bicker with people. It's really important. I try my best to kind of look at somebody's character online, like, the content that they're putting out and the vibes that they're putting out. And one thing I noticed about Vincent was everything was always positive. You know what I'm saying? He was always putting out, posting beats is like a big part of the culture in MPC Gang. Posting our work, using our MPCs and showing and proving. And he was always doing that. He was always, he was like a very big lo-fi dude. So, he was big on not just the MPCs. He had the vintage MPCs. He had, I think, a 2000 XL. He had the X, but he also had a SP12. Um, and he had recently just got the Rossum, I think like 2 weeks ago, the Rossum SP1200 remake. So,
Mhm.
he was definitely like a big lo-fi dude, very chill, vibey type beats. And yeah, man, his vibe was just so positive, and you never heard like a negative word out of his mouth. You know what I'm saying? He was just family man, always focused on his family. But when it came to the music, he just kind of showed us, show and prove. You know what I mean? And I admire that because it's like when we're, as creators, a lot of times, with platforms like Facebook, it's very easy to get caught up in, talking politics and get distracted by all the other stuff. But really, for most of us in MPC Gang, what we go in there for is usually, my bad, it's just a little loud.
Sorry, that's me. That's wrong.
Okay, all right, it's all good. But yeah, I was saying, pretty much what we try to do in there is go there for inspiration. And when we go in there to get inspired, it's really by looking at each other working. And he really stuck to that mode of operation of just showing and proving with his work, not doing a whole lot of talking, just really posting what he was working on, and posting his setup too. He had a really dope setup. Let me see if I can pull up some photos because I did have some photos of his setup and like different stuff he was working on. Give me just a moment here. Yeah, they going in. They going in over
Yeah,
there.
hold on. Let me go. Let me go.
Yeah, handle business, bro. But yeah, let me see if I can pull up some stuff with Vincent, man. We really want to show him some love and all the stuff he was working on. Really, really dope content creator. And let me see if I can pull up. I want to share this window. All right, you back, bro?
Yeah, I'm sorry, man.
Nah, it's all good.
My boy is eccentric, man. He like to when he passionate about something,
Yeah, I'm trying to pull up the screen here. Let me see. I might just share my whole screen. I really wanted to just show like a window. Slides. Yeah, it's not gonna let me do that. There we go. Okay. So yeah, this was his Rossum he had just copped, and I remember telling him like I don't really get jealous very often, but when I do, it's over the Rossum. He had just copped it, the new SP1200, and I was super happy for him. A lot of guys in the group were really happy for him, man, because he was he had the SP16, not the six, I mean the SP12, not the SP1200. Um, and it was like the blue joint. So I think this was like him getting the 1200. I think this one had like double the sample time or something. So it was really really dope. But just a good brother, man. Just a real hip hop dude. He had the trying to see if I can pull up some of the other photos he had here. just gotta hit the arrow. Oh man, it's giving me a hard time, bro. I feel like a whole boomer right now.
Shout out to all the people that's in the chat right now. We got Mighty J, J Young in here. Ollie Star was popping. Uh, Tanea Sean, Temu. I hope I said that right, bro. What's good, man? Jezza in here. William Oates. He shared something about. He said he hit him with the DIY desk idea 2 years ago when I started building my shed studio. That's dope, man. And we got
Yeah,
Viral
man, real
Beats in here
inspirational
too.
dude, man. You know what I'm saying? Former army member, and this is actually a shot he had with 50. He met on one of 50's tours, which was really dope.
It's always sad, man, when life is lost, especially, like we in the community and stuff of whatnot, of everything we do. You see people who are active in the community and things, and like if like for some reason they just have an unfortunate passing, man, it's always like a hit to the community. See, we value you guys, like, what I'm saying, it's like a family. It's like a family, man. Like, you guys are in here, you guys show us love and stuff. So, when things like this happen, like, I didn't even know bro like that. I had like just a couple interactions with him, but like, what he meant to MPC Gang and what he meant to Sight, that obviously affects me too, because it's a chain effect. We're all connected in some type of way, whether people realize it or not. We're all connected some way, somehow. And in this space we share a lot of commonalities, a lot of things that we love to do and we're passionate about, and that shines through our work and, like, what we do online. So, just shout out to that brother, and I'm sorry, rest in peace to his family, you know and we just
Yeah,
wanted to
definitely.
highlight, what I'm saying,
Just
celebrate his
honor him.
life.
Honor his memory, and his contributions to the MPC and the producer community. He always, he would participate a lot in a lot of the ski beats battles. Um, and I think, this kind of lends to like a bigger conversation that I wanted to have about legacy and what we're leaving behind. And it gets, I don't want to get too practical with it, but there are some practical things that we got to start thinking about. A lot of the guys who tune into this show, our age demographic is anywhere from like 25 to 55. You know what I'm saying? Well, maybe a little older. There's some gentlemen that hit me up that's, in their 60s and they're still making beats. You know what I'm saying? And making music. And I think, just what I've been through in the last couple weeks as far as losing my dad. Um, it wasn't super unexpected. My dad had health issues for quite some time. And he had overcome all of them, everything from colon cancer. He had heart attacks. He had, you know, bypass surgery. And he passed away from a heart attack. Obviously anytime somebody passes, it's unexpected, but it wasn't, like completely out of nowhere. We knew he had some health issues. And one of the things, that I talked to him about a lot, and a lot of us, when we become parents, we become, um, we have responsibilities and things like that. Sometimes we avoid the conversation of, the end of our life. And it's definitely not something that's a lot of fun to talk about. You know what I mean? It's a challenging subject. Um, but it's one of those things where I'm coming to a point, and I'm really trying to be more, more open about it with my family. My dad and I had talked about it a lot, man, a lot, because just having a family and having kids, you start thinking, if something happens to me, what's the worst case scenario, right? You start projecting, like, what's going to happen to my family, what's the situation going to be. And, one thing I can honestly say, going through what I went through, last couple of weeks, is I want to applaud my father for all the things that he's been working on. He's working on his financial situation. He was working on, he built his credit up, and he had started like a coin collection. Like I was telling you, like a
Yeah.
precious metals coin collection, which is like something legacy you can pass down to your family. And for some people this is like common knowledge, right? But like in my community where I come from, um, you know, in a lot of the lower income communities, it's not really something we talk about like that, like life insurance and being responsible when it's your time to go. It's almost like we avoid the conversation and we avoid the responsibilities that come with it. And like I said, I have to applaud my father for all that he did. And one thing I could say that was a challenge is, we didn't know if he had a will. You know what I mean? Like if he did have one, we can't find it. You know what I'm saying? So it left a lot of kind of like business to be handled where we weren't exactly sure what he wanted to be done. You know what I mean? And thankfully, my family is one that really works together in these type of situations, and we look out for each other's best interests. But in a situation where you have kind of like family members who are all emotional and contentious, it really could have turned into a bad situation. You know, and it does happen. I've seen it happen with other parts of my family where it's like after you pass, you can imagine us as producers, right? Like, say we got 30,000 in gear, 20,000 in gear. We got an MPC here, we got all this gear on our desk. Where does it go? You know what I'm saying? And, it's almost selfish to think that people are gonna know what to do when you're not here. You know what I'm saying? Or something happens to you. It's I started getting along that mindset where it's like, yo, it's selfish of me to expect my family to know exactly what to do with all the things that I've accumulated. And I think we don't really think about it as we're going through life, all the things we've accumulated, our homes, our studios, our gear, our equipment, obviously money and stuff like that. That's the first thing people look to. But these things that we have, our studios, and our gear that we invest in and different things that we buy and collect, they're important. You know what I'm saying? They're important to us. And I think it's important to, kind of leave a path for our families to know, what to do with this stuff when it's our time. Cause you don't want them fighting over it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You don't.
And
That's the last thing you want is people fighting over it, man.
absolutely.
And it's just better preparation, man. It's no different than going to work. And nobody's perfect because, like, obviously, we got things in place probably, but we probably don't have all the things that we need to have in place too. But it's like there's times like this that like kind of remind you, like, hey, like you might need you know to have some things in place for that, because it's just a reminder of like your mortality. And that's what people don't want to talk about. That's what people don't want to face. People don't want to face that, hey, we have a timestamp and nobody knows when that time is up. And I just want to, because I'm in the chat too, I'm reading. I just want to like give my condolences to Viral Beast too, because he said his dad didn't make didn't beat colon cancer, and that's tough, man.
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know
And,
what I'm
I
saying?
don't want to get into like too many details, but, I was around my father a lot when he was going through chemotherapy with his colon cancer. And it's hard. It's hard to see a childhood hero, go through that. You know what I mean? And, um, it's definitely something that, I didn't know if he was going to make it through that. That was probably about 8 years ago. I think, 7, 8 years ago, when he passed. I mean, when he, was going through chemotherapy. So these things are kind of like wake up calls. We get these. Sometimes the wake up call is super out of nowhere, and we don't have a chance to respond to it. Really, um, I was blessed enough, after that situation, to really, start having these talks with my pop about what's going to happen when he's not here. You know what I mean? And we had some like loose conversations about it, but we never really got down to the details, man. And um, all you fellas in here, and we're adults. Our show is really about having responsibilities as a creative, and having families and things like that. But we don't really talk about these types of things, and I kind of want to bring more, maybe guests on the show to talk about these types of things. Like, what's the best things we can do to prepare and kind of get professional, you know, um, feedback about it, because this is stuff we really need to educate ourselves on. And it's definitely something that we all need to do as responsible adults. You know what I'm saying? We need to take care of our families after the fact. You know what I mean? And just it's kind of like the least we can do is while they're grieving, at least give them, a plan so they're not guessing. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's just something that I picked up over the last couple of weeks. It's important for us to start thinking along these lines, and especially if we're leaders of our family, and we're not just the breadwinner part of it. You know what I'm saying? We're not just talking about financially. We're talking about like just being leaders of our family as far as taking care of our responsibilities, and trying to think, trying to be forward thinking about what's coming down the line. We've talked about a little bit as far as royalties and things like that, right? Like we were talking about leaving a musical legacy for our family. We talked about that on the show before, and it hits home for me because um, a big part of like my family's history is my grandfather was a famous jazz musician, Oscar Pettiford, and he was actually Quincy Jones' mentor, and he passed away when my dad was 5, but my dad, and his two sisters were Oscar's second family. His first family, he had a son with his first wife, and then he had, my aunts and my dad with his second wife. And due to legal issues at that time, after he passed away, my dad and my aunts did not get any of my grandfather's royalties, which we don't know what they were, but it's safe to say he was a jazz legend. So they were dropping records, even still to this day. Companies drop records, with his work, and you're talking about 50 years later, and my family doesn't receive any of those royalties. So after my grandfather passed away, my dad was 5 years old. They basically had to go to Chicago. They moved to Chicago, and there was a lot of struggle financially because there wasn't that plan for my grandfather. You know what I'm saying? Like for that part of his family to get a split of his royalties. You know what I mean? His first son got all the royalties, bro. So it's been it led to a lot of struggle from my father, his mom, that side of my family. Like they struggled a lot because of that. You know what I mean? And I'm talking about this story because you know a big part of my motivation with the show, and a big part of my motivation as a man, is a lot of us are trying to break these generational curses, right? And a
Yep.
big way to do it is to handle our business in a way that allows us to make sure our family's in a better position if something unexpected happens to us, right? It's very important because it literally changed the trajectory of my family in a negative way. You know what I'm saying? Like it set my pop back a lot. It set, I don't want to like make excuses for him, but he went through a lot of struggle that he might not have had to go through had things been lined up, with my grandfather's, royalties and things like that. Had it been split evenly, their life could have been totally different. You know what I mean? Not just from a financial standpoint, but I mean, it when you're working in this music business, you know, a lot of us are trying to break into it, but some of us do have things that are placed. Some of us do have opportunities that we've taken advantage of, and we're publishing work. And you never
Yeah.
know if something's gonna hit, right? We talk about that all the time. So it's important if something does, with our work, if it is earning, or if it's going to be earning in the future, or there's a chance of it, it's just a responsible thing. Is just to start also looking at where's it going to go after the fact, because this stuff we're putting out, this content we're making, this art we're creating, it lives beyond us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This is Vincent's work right here. You know what I mean? Like these things we're creating and these things we're putting out, we might not sell millions of them, but they're affecting people, and it's out there in the world, and we never know, especially with digital stuff, how far it's going to go. You know what I mean? Even after we're gone, stuff can take off, you know what I mean? And go further. So, um, I just say all this to say, like, it's an important topic, and, I'd love for y'all to kind of chime in, and let me know if there's anything you guys are doing to make sure that that your work that you're doing with your music, with your art, with your creating, What are some of the things you guys are doing, to kind of look out for your family in the future? Lord forbid if something happened to you. So, like I said, it's kind of a dark subject, but I don't want to shy away from it because it's an important thing that's going on in my family right now, and that's been going on for generations. And I don't want to see those type of problems go further. If there's anything I can do to help our community avoid these type of issues or these types of, I don't want to call them downfalls, but you know what I'm saying? Like
I
basically
don't.
stuff that can affect your family in a negative way. I want to try to find more ways to help and share more information on it.
I'm a big component of taking the negative and turning it into a positive. Anyway, we sit here and we're thinking about these people who passed and stuff, and it's a hard thing. It's bad. It's kind of dark, right? But there's lessons that we can take away from here. You know what I'm saying? And like one of the things that we talked about, and I keep iterating to the fans and the subscribers and the people who watch us is, you know, the importance of starting things before you're ready, and just doing the things that you love doing, because we do so much stuff that we don't like to do. Why are we not taking more time and doing the things that we love doing, and just making a plan to start things? Story that Sight told me about his dad. They had this whole elaborate plan of what they were going to do, and his dad was actually working on those plans to actually fulfill those, but he didn't get a chance to fulfill the things that he was working on because he felt like he had so much time. And I think we all go through that, where we just think that time is just infinite, and we have as much time as we want on this earth. We all want to believe that, but the truth of the matter is that we all have a finite amount of time on this earth, and it doesn't last forever. I don't know when I'm gonna go, when the next person is gonna go. So the least thing that we could be trying to do while we here is working on creating legacy and leaving something behind for, what I'm saying, our people and our kids and our families to remember us by and to feed off of, you know, trying to set them up, being responsible, because you know you can live a free spirit, and be a free spirit and all this stuff, but when you have responsibilities, it's a little different. Like, it's a little different. And
Yeah,
I,
and
go
and
ahead, go ahead, man.
what you don't take care of yourself is gonna be, it's gonna be left to those who survive you. You know what I mean? And that's the thing that's kind of hitting home for me. It's becoming less of a taboo conversation. William Oates is saying insurance and investment planning is a must. I hated talking about it with my mom, but I understand why she pressed the issue. And you know, I'm sure, there's members of my family that probably don't want to hear me talk about that kind of thing. But at this point in my life, uh, the man I'm becoming is I'm trying to handle as much of my business as possible and create as much peace and harmony in my family as I can. And at this point, I just can't look away anymore. You know what I mean? As far as like,
Yeah.
I have to start having these conversations with my family. And honestly, I don't even feel any type of way about it. Like they might feel a type of way about it, but for me, it's just another way I'm protecting them. You know what I'm saying? To start having these conversations. And another gentleman, let me see, he put something in here. Mean Gene said deeds and wills need to be in order. A lot of people believe deeds are passed on through a will when in reality a deed trumps a will. And that's interesting. Legally, I don't know. I don't know, what I'm saying, all the details. And like I said, I would love to get, some guests on here to talk about it because it does tie into our subject matter, which is, our again, we're making investments in our gear. A lot of us have expensive studios. A lot of us are making money off our craft. Um, so aside from just, those of us with day jobs, what we're making off that, there's also these music royalties and stuff like that, where I would love to get someone on here to talk about those kind of things because, we need to be, legal stuff is kind of boring. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people tune out for that type of thing. And, um, nothing about this subject matter is fun, but I think at some point, you know what I'm saying, we just have to really start locking in and just taking the subject on head on, because at the end of the day, I know all of us, with our families, we want them to be at peace when it's our time. We, have as much peace as possible. And it's just something for me. I'm perfectly comfortable with now talking about it, because I don't think it's not like I'm looking forward, to passing or anything, but it's the one thing that's guaranteed, bro. Like,
Yeah,
no, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not here forever. We all got a limited time, like you said. And the sooner we accept that and start operating in accordance with that, um, it's not something you got to think about all the time, but not for nothing, it's a huge motivation for me. Once I kind of accepted that, yo, our time here is limited, and I don't know what's gonna happen later today. Better yet, tomorrow. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They say tomorrow's not promised. I think it's a perfect phrase, because we're not guaranteed to even make it through this day. So it's not to be like a drag or a dark cloud, but it's literally to the point now with me where that's like huge motivation for me, knowing that any day could be it. I want to put as many things in place as I can, and I'm
yeah,
not going to act like I'm perfect, like I have everything lined up. I don't. This was definitely a lit a fire under me even more. I was already on the thought process of it, and executing certain things, but um, now the importance of having instructions, having some form of instructions for my family about what I would want is huge. You know what I'm saying? I think it's something that just I can't ignore it anymore, or I can't push it to the side anymore. It's literally priority. Like this week, I'm making sure all my instructions are laid out, as detailed as I can make them. And then also, you know, I have to find like somebody who I trust with like my passwords and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Or some
yeah,
type of digital vault thing, because a lot of our lives now are digital, our banks and financial matters and all that stuff. People need access to this stuff. Whoever's going to execute on you, not people, but at least one person that you trust the most, whoever you're going to designate it to, they need access to this kind of stuff. Um, like with my dad, we don't have access, like you can't get in his phone, for instance, right? So I think if you can get my phone, you could probably get into most of my stuff. You know what I mean? But for me, it's
yeah.
like my brother. You know what I'm saying? I gave him like my sign-ins and all that stuff if something happened. I did that like 2 years ago. I don't know what spurred me to do it. It might have been my best friend passing last year, but it was just like, look, if something happens to me, these are my passwords. You know what I mean? Just put them in a little digital, whatever. You know what I mean? Just put this in your phone records or something, or screenshot it. And if you ever need it, just know it's there, and you can provide it to either my wife or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, I know it seems like I'm probably rambling on it. It's a lot that what my family's been dealing with um, the
Yeah.
last couple weeks. You know what I'm saying? And
And it's understandable. We didn't do dad beats last week or the week before that, like he said, because of that, and we understood. So I hope you guys understand too. But we're back, and it's time to light the fires, man. Like this seems like negative, but it's positive. Like this is a chance for you guys to like hear what we're saying and actually light a fire too, because me and Sight, we talk about this stuff all the time. We sit here and we because our you younger guys, you guys are in your 20s and stuff like that, you start to realize as you get older your mortality is challenged more and more every day. People that die, what I'm saying, people just out of the blue just gone. You start to see that more and more the older you get. So you're like, dang, what have I accomplished in this life that I can leave behind, or what have I really done? And you start to realize that all the unimportant stuff that you was doing is not important anymore, and you start focusing yourself on the things that are really important. So it's really a good thing in life, because it helps you focus and get that tunnel vision to do the things that you really need to do. I feel like that's why a lot of, like, especially men get their stuff together like later on in life, because we don't mature as fast as women do as far as like the way that we think. But once we start having like real stuff happen, because we know like real world consequences, once we feel those real world consequences, then we really tighten up, you know what I'm saying, and we get down to business. And that's what this is all about, is just getting down to business. And it's not even in just preparation of, getting your will and all that stuff together for your family. It's about like how you're living your life. Like, are you eating right? Are you exercising enough? Are you doing the things or trying to build businesses or working to try to get to a certain, amount for retirement? Are you trying to leave some money for your kids when you leave? Do you have like life insurance? All these things play a part in the whole grand scheme of things when you're thinking about your life and what you're doing. And then also on top of that, it's about trying to live the best life that you can. And a lot of that comes back to what we do here, because we love music. We love the things that we do. We make this music, and some of us is making money from it and stuff like that. And we're trying to really do this thing professionally. And, some of us are scared to do it because we're afraid of failing. You can't be afraid to fail, man. This is one thing. It's like I have one life to live. I need to try for the things that I want to reach, that I want to achieve, you know what I'm saying, whether I fail or not, responsibly. You can do that stuff and be responsible about it. I have I have a 9 to 5. I work, you know what I'm saying? I go work at a 9 to 5 all the time, every day, but I still do this. I still got other things that I'm doing as well that I talk to Sight about. I'm always like I got irons in the fire all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but that's because I'm conscious about what I'm trying to do and what I want to leave my kids, and what the empire I'm trying to build. So you guys don't look at this as, negative. Like, we want to celebrate these brothers' lives, like Sight's dad, and you know what I'm saying, special nobodies. We want to celebrate their life, but we also want to highlight the things that they were trying to do with their life as well. They weren't just on this earth just being just on the couch eating potatoes and stuff like that. They were actually working. Sight's dad
My man
had a
said potatoes.
you know what I'm
I
saying.
know what you mean. No, I'm just. It's just funny how you say it.
But like if you're trying to progress, like every step is a step in a forward direction, and that's all we can ever do. Even if we
Mm-hmm.
don't make it to the finish line, you were able to see like the works of your dad, and like you had told me, you didn't know if he was on this stuff or not. But
Mm-hmm.
once he passed, you found out that he was really trying to do everything that you guys were talking about and planning and stuff. He just ran out of time,
Yeah.
you know.
And just kind of get back to my dad, man. I just wanted to show him some love, um, and just some of the things with my family that and with him that I really appreciated. This is my dad as a baby with my grandfather Oscar Pettiford, and my grandfather Oscar played the bass, and then he hurt his hand at some point, and he started playing the cello because he was able to handle it with his injured hand, and he kind of made the pizzicato cello famous in jazz. Like he was one of the pretty much the first to do it and really master it. And this is like this picture I think was for a magazine. But my grandfather always had my dad, um, in a lot of his photos. When he was around his family, he wasn't shy about having his family. And there's actually my grandfather's one of his albums is it's called My Little Cello. My dad's name was Cello. He named his son after his favorite instrument. So um, he made an album called My Little Cello, and it was dedicated. He was holding my dad up and on the cover. And these are the things we're talking about with legacy. You know what I'm saying? Tying in what we love the most, what we love doing, our passion, tying it in with our family and making it. It's not that we have to, expose our family if we don't want to. You don't have to put your kids on your covers, but there's something motivating about it. And I'm speaking from personal experience because um, it's a good picture of my dad in the car, man. He was a happy dude. Um, definitely a baseball fan. You know what I mean? Chicago Cubs. But I wanted to get over to an image that was really important, which is this is my sample pack that I did last year. And, I'm still working on the volumes. We're about to launch volume 4. A lot of distractions this year that's kept me from putting 4 out. But this is volume 1, and this is a picture of my dad in the 70s when he was growing up on the streets of Chicago. And when we talk about legacy, right, and we talk about, what happened from, my grandfather's royalties not getting split with all his kids. Well, this is kind of, a result of that. My pops had a hard upbringing in the streets of Chicago. You see him with the pistol, you know what I'm saying? And I put this on the cover, not to glorify it, because how I did the artwork, I do all the artwork for my covers. And one of my motivations for this cover was, one, to honor my father, but the soul part, right? Like the inspiration for the music was soul music is about pain. It's about the chord structures and the instruments chosen. It's about expressing pain. It's about getting out emotion, right? And the emotion of my father at this time in his life was fiery. You know what I'm saying? He's in his late teens, and it's before he went to the army, which is where he met my mom. And he was on the streets, and it's fire. You know what I'm saying? Like the streets of Chicago were, a lot of you guys from Chicago know it's gangland out there. You know what I'm saying? It's real in the streets. And this was his late teens, and I wanted him to be. I wanted to start with this. I wanted this to be the start of my series, but I'm going to end it on a different note, and I'm not sure exactly where I'm going to go with it. But creating this, I wanted to have, so I took a superimposed picture of some riots, some Chicago riots, and I put that in the background. And it symbolizes, just the fire that he was going through at that time in his life, the aggression, what the streets kind of breed in you as a man in your teens, you know what I'm saying, if you out there. So that's what my motivation was. I'm trying to carry on that legacy that my grandfather left of tying family into my work. And I found that when I did that, I got more motivated and I got more inspired. So the other thing that gave me a lot of peace when my father passed away is him knowing that I honored him in this image, you know what I'm saying? In this series, you know what I'm saying? He was the first face on the series, and the deluxe edition that I sell, which is the one with all the volumes in it, he's the face of it, you know what I mean? And it gave me a lot of peace, because my father and I relationship was strained for a while. He wasn't in my life my entire life, but later on in life, we reconnected, and I wanted to show him while he was here, that I valued him and that he was a crucial part of me and, my work. You know what I'm saying? He passed on that musical gift to me. And so, yeah, man, without going on too much about it, this was the way that I honored him. And it gave me a lot of peace when he passed away, knowing that he saw that, that I wanted to honor him. And this is actually volume 3. Volume 2 had my grandfather on it. I honored him in that. And kind of like, another overarching standalone soul, this series that I worked on that I'm still working on is about telling my family story in certain ways. And I'm doing it with the artwork here. So volume 3, the compositions were there was more like love songs, you know what I mean? Like love song soul chords, you know what I'm saying? It was a little softer. It was a little more melodic, you know what I'm saying? And this is a picture of him at, I think, like 22, 23, and my mom, I think, was like a year older than him. And this was a picture, of them together. And I just kind of superimposed more softer, kind of like ethereal type of colors on it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted the colors to be black and white images, but the emotions of what I'm coming with on the sample pack was like, expressed by the colors. So this is just me trying to be an artist, you know what I'm saying, and do the same things my grandfather was doing. So, I'm not trying to promote my sample pack through this. What I'm trying to show you is that me doing these things and showing honor to my father while he was alive, it is giving me a lot of peace now that he's not here. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows how much of a crucial part of our family he was. You know what I'm saying? And I expressed it through my work. And I'm just encouraging y'all to think about these things when you're working on your music, when you're working on, your projects, when you're looking for inspiration. Sometimes just look around you. The people who inspire you the most, the people who a lot of times with art, we're using it in place of having to say things, right? So I didn't come out and just tell my father all these things I felt about him. I tried to express it through my art, you know, and sometimes it's easier as men to do that than to just outright have the conversation, right? So,
Yeah.
um, you know, that's pretty much what I try to do with all my work. You know what I'm saying? And going forward is really, really important for me to let my family know what they mean to me. And I mean, you know, like I said, I mean, it's kind of like a piece. It's a sample pack. It's a product that I'm putting out, but it's also my art because I don't make albums. I don't, you know, right now I'm not making any albums with any artists. Um, I'm not producing for artists. I'm producing for other producers. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, we're artists too, but it's just the focus is a little different. So I found just different ways to express myself. And if you're not an artist and you know you don't do Photoshop and all that stuff, you can always hire people to do the artwork for you. But you know, trying to tie in your story, your unique story, what your family story is, into your work is something that a lot of the greats do. You know, you see Jay-Z do it with 444, right? And like, you know, his album was a blueprint. He named his daughter Blue Ivy, and you know they have a lot of meaning, you know, in the different things they do. And you'll see this. A lot of the great artists tie in these things that inspire them and their family into their work.
Because it's
So
motivation. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's motivation. Like we talk about this stuff before too. Like you can't just people don't just do anything for no reason. Everybody has a why they do things. You know what I'm saying? For me and Sight, the two of the biggest components of that is family. You know, of course we want to get paid and make good money and stuff like that, but everything that we're doing is trying to, you know, lift our families up. And it leave because he's talking about, you know, creating for, you know what I'm saying, like your family and stuff like that and keeping that in mind. But on the
hmm
flip side of that too is you're also leaving a blueprint to your family to who you were as a man and who you was as a person. We talk about this all the time as well. It's like one of the reasons why we love YouTube and why we're on YouTube is because we're leaving a video album for our kids to look back on and see this is who my dad was.
facts.
These are the things that my dad loved to do. And even with your music, you tell a story through your music. You tell a story through your paintings. You tell a story through, you know, the activities that you did. You got, you know, film of you playing football in high school or in college or wherever you is. That's leaving a blueprint for your family to know, like, you know, who they were,
Yeah.
who you were as a man, you know, because some people don't make it. Like, you know, we have people out here who pass away when their kids are very young, you know.
hmm
And and I know, like, I never knew my real dad, but I wish I could just have like just like a photo or like just a video or just somebody who knew who he was,
Yeah.
that could tell me who he was, so I could relate that back to
It would give you a
myself.
certain level of peace, right? It
Yeah,
kind of answers some questions
yeah,
and kind of fills a hole, like a void that you might have, you know.
yeah,
And it's, you know, that's just something to consider, you know, when you're doing your work. And I like how you tie that in. Like, that is a big motivation, you know. Caesar and I talk about a lot is with these videos. And it's not just about the videos, it's about whatever format, whatever way you decide to publish your work. That's why we keep pushing on this show. Publish it. Just do it somehow, because whether you're putting out albums on DistroKid or SoundCloud, or you're doing a YouTube channel. And shout out to Linda's son. He said, "That's beautiful sight. That's why I go by Linda's son, to forever honor my mother through my music."
that's what's
Yo,
up.
that's that is beautiful. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, keeping our ancestors and our families' legacy alive, even through naming yourself. That's just an amazing way to do it. Um, you know, these things, they give us peace as
Yeah,
artists. They give us peace as human beings. Like, knowing that we're honoring the people who had these big influences on us. Um, it's good for you in a lot of ways. You know what I'm saying? It helps give peace to you in moments where you might otherwise be really grieving. Because a lot of times the reason we grieve is because we left so many things unsaid, right? Or
Yeah.
maybe that person didn't know how we really felt about them. Um, and it's funny because online, like I've heard like people like say little slick stuff like, because I give a lot of people credit, and props, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's part of our community in general. Like you'll see a lot of producers like, yo, that's dope. Yo, I admire you for this. I admire you for that. I'm the same way. When somebody posts a beat up in MPC Gang, if I see it 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna comment like, yo, even if it's not the hottest beat I ever heard, I like the way you did those snares. Yo, that melody is crazy. You know what I mean? Because it's the encouragement part of it, but it's also I don't ever want I don't ever want to leave things unsaid that I'm really feeling. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I just walk around just spewing out everything I'm thinking. But as far as making an impression on people you come in contact with, I try to take advantage of as many opportunities as I can to big people up. You know what I'm saying? Because that negative energy, it's out there, bro. We don't have to go far to see it. There's trolls all over the place. You know what I mean? Social media
Yeah.
has created so much. It's not the fault of social media, but it's become a tool that a lot of negative people use to impose negativity on other people.
Yeah.
So those of us that go out of their way to be positive, it can have the opposite effect, and it does. You know what I'm saying? Look at you know look at Vincent, what he's done. Like there's people in the community that you would have never known that he spoke to them and that he had these relationships. These are like digital, like online relationships with people and conversations. But even if something is helping you pick a desk, right? And then there's another gentleman in MPC Gang was talking about, they had conversations. They were about to collab on a project together, right? So it's you never know the impression you're having on someone. You never know the effect you're having on them. But I'll tell you, the more you try to leave positive effects on people, the better you're going to sleep at night and the more comfortable you're going to move. And I'm just saying it out of personal experience. I know if something happens to me tomorrow, there's not going to be a bunch of people saying like, yo, you know, sight wasn't shit. You know what I mean? It's going to be like, yo, I remember one
It's
time he
better
told
for
me this.
it's better for the soul, man.
Yeah.
Like, and that's what I say. Like, I know some people have like motivations of just getting money and stuff like that, but money doesn't really fill the soul. Like we talk about like, and the reason why I put this in here is because like you guys don't know, like me, Lifted Noise, like I talk to Lifted Noise, often, but I talk to Sight a lot, and we talk about these issues all the time. Like these are things that we talk about, like we really like talk about this stuff, you know what I'm saying? And and
It's not that we like
it's
to talk about, we like to talk about being responsible,
yeah,
or we try to motivate each other, really.
yeah. It's just a motivation, it's just a motivational thing. And just getting back to what I was trying to say, because I kind of lost it right there, is that the money is not the motivation, you know what I'm saying? It's the memories and the things that we could create with the money
Yeah.
is what we're trying to get to. We're not
Yeah.
trying to make just a whole bunch of money. We're trying to create memories for our families, things that you can keep forever, because money comes and goes, material things come and go. We switch out gear all the time. I have this gear and then I have this, and
Mhm.
it's there tomorrow, and it's here today and gone tomorrow. But one thing that never leaves is memories. The memories that you create with the people that you love and stuff. Like, you will never remember how much you spent on something, but you'll remember the smile that you put on somebody's face, or you
Mhm.
remember just being in that space, in that time, in that moment. You know what I'm saying? So like the motivation needs to be things like, and it doesn't even have to be money motivated. Like, you don't even have to have money to experience these things. You just have to go out your way to make these things happen.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't hurt for you to lift somebody up, like Sight said. It doesn't kill you to, what I'm saying, to make somebody else feel good, in some
There's a
parts of the
saying that
day.
I always enjoyed. It said, a candle doesn't lose its flame by lighting others, right? Like if you take your light and you share it with others, it doesn't take away from your light. You know what I'm saying? It only creates more. And I think, as a saying, that's something that really has stuck with me. Um, sometimes things can get competitive in certain spaces, certain creative spaces where, it might be limited number of viewers or something, or limited audience. There's times where things get competitive, but as a whole, it shouldn't take away from your ability to big up the people who honestly inspire you. It's not about being fake, like, oh, yeah, this guy's amazing, if you really don't like the person or
Yeah.
whatever, you don't like their work. It's about being honest about the people who really have an effect on you with their work and things like that. So yeah, man, I just pretty much wanted to touch on why I am the way I am in that respect. Like, I big up a lot of people, and I try to accentuate the positive part, but it's not out of some kind of wanting like fake karma. It's like, nah, I know sometimes, I've had people say to me like, yo, you don't know how much that compliment means to me. And to me, it's funny because I'm just a normal dude, like recording videos, making beats in his room, just like you. But I guess because of the consistency or whatever I've been able to build up with my channel or whatever, it means more to certain people, and I'm not ignorant of that fact. You know what I'm saying? So to me, it's even more powerful. Like, I love the fact that what I've been able to accumulate with my work, makes my statements mean more to certain people, or more motivating to certain people. Like that's even more powerful. You know what I'm saying? So I'm
And,
grateful
and,
for that.
and vice versa, man. Because like I've like seriously, I've gotten some comments from you guys, and we've seen comments like on here and on my channel, and that just like really touches our hearts, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
It really makes like the things that we're doing worth it. And that's why, what I'm saying, you need to come at things with great intentions and stuff, because we only have great intentions by doing this. We want to educate people, and we want to try to make people's lives like better, and teach them things that, like, even stuff that we don't know, because we're all going through this this thing together. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So the more that you sharing is caring, man. Whether you appreciate the fact or not, like, even because we used to talk about the old heads, they got to keep their secrets and stuff like that. But in this day and age, it's proven that sharing, like like outweighs like that
The benefits
tenfold.
of it,
You
right?
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The benefits of
Hmm.
actually giving the knowledge away, like, actually helps you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? It actually helps you create better connections. It actually helps you make more money. It actually helps you, feel great, because you know that you're helping somebody and you're benefiting from
And
it.
Tiny Sean said, Lumen Acipe et Imperate, pardon me if I butchered it. Latin, receive the light and pass it on. And that's a real principle. You know what I'm saying? That's a real principle. And again, I try not to get too deep, like esoteric, on this program. I try to be, I'm a spiritual guy. I study a lot of different things. I try to be practical when it comes to this show. And it comes back to definitely practical things we can do every day, right? Like showing love to people, and being honest about, when somebody positively influences us, but also practical steps on business. Like, I really like talking about that.
Yeah.
Um, Linda Sun said something very interesting. I didn't want to glaze over it. My best friend passed away 2 years ago and kept putting off his affairs. 25 years plus at the post office, and his retirement and other funds went to the government. He never prepared. And that's, going back to my grandfather's story. You know what I'm saying? He passed, I think, when he was 38. No one expects to pass at that age. You know what I'm saying? At these ages, like, I don't want to say no one, but it's rare. I remember when I was young and things were a little rough in the streets. I was happy to make it to 21. You know what I mean? There's some of us who've been through that life where it's like, yo,
Yeah.
whew, I didn't think I was gonna make it this long. There was a couple
Yeah.
moments like that.
Yeah.
Depending on how, what your environment's like when you're growing up. But at this point, a lot of us in this audience are over 25. A lot of us are over 30. Um, we it's really time to lock in on this stuff, man. It's not like we got to focus on it all the time, but it's time to
Yeah.
take a day and sit down and just get some of those business arrangements in order. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, your beneficiaries, your person that you're gonna trust when it's time to go. I don't care if you just write it down on a piece of printer paper, like, yo, I want list some of the stuff that you have. I want this going to, because at least there's a general guideline. You know what I'm saying?
And really, real talk, if you got that person that you you know what I'm saying, that you trust, all you gotta do is go to a bank and get that notarized, and that
Yeah.
becomes a legal piece of paper. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? All you have to do is go to your banker, find somebody who's a notary, and that becomes legally binding.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
And we're gonna
saying?
get into that more. We're gonna get into that more. Now I'm inspired. This conversation, really has inspired me to reach out to some professionals. You know, maybe we can get a professional on here that can give us a resource that's really easy to use. You know what I mean? Because I know a lot of this stuff is like difficult. Like once people start talking about, oh, you got to go get a lawyer, a lot of people shut off. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like, oh, you start thinking about how much you got to pay this person. But I'm sure there's some resources now that we're probably not aware of, websites or whatever, that make these kind of things um, easier to do. You know what I mean? So, if you guys are interested in stuff like that, because again, we want to tie it into what we're doing, right? We're creating music, we're creating art. I'm sure a lot of us have, day jobs and stuff like that too. But whatever we're accumulating, man, we definitely got to start having a plan for what's going to happen after the fact, because we can't take it with us. And the last thing, like I said earlier, is we don't want people, people who we love beefing over what part of us they get to keep. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, man, I'm just super grateful that my family has dealt with this so classy and respectfully. It's just a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? It's a really beautiful thing, and I'm super grateful for that. Um, but yeah, man.
Shout out to John Carter, and he said 45 got my will and my bishop beneficiaries out the way. You know what I'm saying? Years ago. That's what's up.
Absolutely, my bad. I brought the wrong one. Yeah, that's huge, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's huge. Make sure they know where to find it, bro. Make sure they know where to find your will. Because if my dad, I'm having trouble believing my dad didn't have one, but we just don't know where to find it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, um, it's possible he didn't, but all the conversations we've had, maybe he felt comfortable that we would know what to do. And to a certain extent, we do. You know what I'm saying? We know his heart. We know what he was about. It was my dad was very simple. He had two boys. It was me and my brother, and that was his main concern. That whatever he had went to us. Excuse me. But we try to have consideration for our other family members too, and that's the great part. We're all looking out for each other. But yeah, man, that's salute to you, John Connor. That's huge. He said, I've lost 7 people in less than 6 years. I've seen the beef firsthand. Yeah, man. I've lost friends to beef. I've lost friends to the streets. I've lost friends to illness.
Yep.
And it's very real, man. It's very real. And uh, after seeing that, I just want to have some peace of mind that when it's my time, whatever that time is, God willing, it's a long time in the future. I get to see my kids get old and grandkids and all that. Um, but Lord forbid if it doesn't turn out that way, I want things to be as simple as possible. And as we were talking about earlier, I want them to feel like they knew me.
Yeah.
So taking advantage of this technology, the YouTube channel, even if you're making videos privately, I mean, that they'll be able to see later. One cool thing that my dad did was he started a Google Photos folder and he put me and my brother in it. And it's funny because it's like he was putting photos in there, like, photos from his phone, or he would save stuff from Facebook. It's pictures of my family, pictures of his extended family, all the stuff he was interested in. Um, and all the things that he loved, he was putting in this folder. And I remember thinking, like, throughout the years, like, we would get these notifications, me and my brother, and I remember looking at it like, it was almost like annoying, right? Like you get a notification like, oh, here goes dad tagging me in these pics again. But he wasn't tagging me. It was like, it was just uploading and I would get a notification.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking like, it wasn't like really annoying. It didn't really bother me, but it was just like, boom, you get a notification. Oh, there's dad uploading pictures again.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm telling you, bro, this last 2 weeks, going through those pictures, it's like, yo, the photos that I showed earlier in the show, they're all from his folder. And to me, it's like a digital photo album, like a big digital photo album. And this is a concept I think I spoke to you about. What I would like to try to do is make a digital vault for my kids. Like
Yeah.
with the photos like that, you know what I'm saying? And then also, videos, different videos, not only that of me, and our family and things like that. Definitely that. I have that in Dropbox. I have like certain, folders for family trips and all that stuff that I filmed. But also people that influence me. So almost like a digital library, you know what I'm saying? Like of videos. Cause a lot of, future generations, they might not read as much. I pray that my kids read as much as I did or more, or do or more. But realistically going forward, video content is going to become more and more the norm. So I would love to have like a digital video vault for them. You know what I'm saying? Where they can see the books that influence me the most,
Yep.
and read them if they want, like a library. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be huge, but I'll probably get like a thumb drive and start copying like all the main stuff to that, because even if I just kind of drop a couple jewels on my kids, if something happened to me and they can know, like, yo, read these 3 or 4 books, right? Watch this video by Gary Vee. Watch this video by Tony Robbins, or, whoever
Mm-hmm.
inspires you, right? And just have like 10 to 15 videos that I feel resonate with me the most and my perspective on life the most. If I can leave that for them and it's easy for them to see at any time, I feel like that would give me a certain peace of mind. So that's something I'm working on too.
That's great, man. And like I said, man, it's just great creating legacy. Like I don't know like how you feel, but I think we should go through the chat and see what the chat is talking about, and then like maybe transition until like you know what I'm saying, because we're talking about all this stuff and what's going on in the community and the losses that we have, but we also on this podcast we want to you know lift up the people who've had wins and stuff. So you know what I'm saying? We want to hear from you guys, like any wins that you had like in the community, if you had any placements, if you got a new piece of gear, if
Mm-hmm.
if you was able to buy like a new car, whatever. You know what I'm saying? What are you guys doing? What positive things have been happening to you lately? We want to like put that stuff on display too. So this is you guys' time to like chime in and let us know like what you guys been up to. You know what I'm
Yeah, and even
saying?
going forward, I think we're just gonna do a segment called wins,
Yep.
and we're just gonna, what I'm saying, we're just gonna share our wins, like what worked out for us this week, what's the improvement this week, you know what I'm saying? I think, and we probably can't get to every single one of them, but that's a segment that I definitely want to implement on the show, and then also the hashtag DadBeats, man, spending time with our kids, our grandkids, whatever it is. Um, and tagging that
We got to
dad
start.
beats.
We got to start doing that more too.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm with my, I'm literally with my kids all the time.
yeah,
So it's like it should be easy for me to do.
yeah. And I
Just
think like the kids, like kids at my kid's age. I have a 3-year-old. Well, he's about to be 4, and a 18-month-old. And it's tough, because I don't really want them around my NPCs like that with the with the grubby fingers and all that.
yeah.
But it's definitely something that when I do have a moment, right now, hold on, let me show you something. Inside standalone soul, on the inside, I sign them, right? So like, let me see if I can show this full screen. All right, it's not full screen, but it's close. All right, so that's a picture of me and my son inside the booklet. Because like with standalone soul, the deluxe edition, I made it like a CD, basically. Like this is actually a booklet; it folds in half. But
Yeah.
yeah. So I sign it, and I basically, you can see faintly the picture of me and my son. And what's beautiful about it is I'm gonna pull up the image of my grandfather. And that it was a classic jazz album, and it pretty much started that legacy in my family of having our little ones, you know what I'm saying, on the cover. But I kind of want to pay homage to that. Let me see if I can pull up the original. Okay, there it goes. I got so much stuff on my screen. Yo. My bad.
I could just shout out the people that we got in here too, because we did have a lot of people stop through. We got shout out Jezza. We got William Oates. We got Sadik Green, DJ Rec, Ram. You know what I'm saying? Mighty J Young. I think I said him. The man Destructo stopped through. What's up, Destructo? You know what I'm saying? Shout it out. Viral Beats already. Sean McLeod. We got a Facebook user. I don't know who that is, but shout out to you. You know what I'm saying? We got Earl the Dat Lawrence. He stopped in here. Dave hates AOH. I love that name, bro. You know what I mean? Mean Gene in here. Anthony Williams, Linda Son, Jeremy Burt. Like, there's a lot of people that we have in here. Blaze FM, you know, I think that's all the people. Chevy Boss.
Shout out to Big Dog Chevy Boss. That's my big bro. He's the only dude I call big bro, man. He's literally my big bro too. He's like 6'7".
Oh yeah.
Big dude. But nah, he was the first one to introduce me to making beats like formally. He let me use his studio. It was like 1996.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, it brought me. He had the Roland sampler. He had the you know what I'm saying, the 4-track Tascam, the Porter Studio, and just taught me the ropes of like recording. You know what I mean? So shout out to my big dog, Big Kane, also known as Chevy Boss.
Yeah,
Appreciate you, big dog.
we just got a couple more.
Yeah, go ahead.
We got I just seen it right down here. We got John Connor. We got Mr. Pirate Brain. Vinyl chapter. The Vapors. And I think that's it. Trader to the Living. Basically, we thank all you guys for joining in with us. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of you guys that came in and stopped in and showed us love. So we just wanted to give you guys that shout out. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yeah, a lot of y'all tune in every week, man. We really appreciate y'all for that. But yeah, this is the cover. My Little Cello from my grandfather, Oscar Pettiford, and this kind of like was my inspiration for the inside of Standalone Soul. Is, you know, he was so proud of his son, and it's funny. My son looks just like my dad, y'all. Just a little lighter, obviously, a little lighter, but they had the same. You know, they got the same face shape, the same eyes, same smile. It's deep, man. It's deep. You know what I mean? And it's I'm blessed to have a family legacy like this, but like I said, we didn't get to enjoy the benefits of my grandfather's work. You know what I'm saying? My family didn't. You know, we definitely are proud of the name, but as far as the fruits of his labor, we didn't get to enjoy any of that. And that's a tragedy in every sense of the word. You know what I'm saying? It's a tragedy in the upbringing that my father was forced to have. It's a tragedy, and you know, it's like starting from scratch. You know what I'm saying? And what we're doing is, you know, one big motivation. I don't want to say what we're doing it for because I can't speak for everybody. But if you're gonna put your work out for monetary gain, yo, try your best to make sure that it, you know, it, because a lot of us in the industry, we don't want to get taken advantage of and have our, you know, a big thing is like owning your masters, right? Because you don't want people that aren't your family and who didn't contribute to what you do to be taking advantage of your work. And
Yeah.
it's unavoidable. That's capitalism, right? Like, you know, we make our videos for YouTube, and at the end of the day, YouTube's going to take whatever percentage of the revenue that's generated, right? There's no way around it in certain aspects, but you know, if you just pay a little attention to where things are going, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, creating this income that's basically why you sleep, right? Like, you don't even have to be active. Once you put the work out, it's going to keep generating it. How much it is depends on how well you're marketed and how well it does in the market. But at the end of the day, man, it's like the last thing you want to happen is just stuff be all over the place. You know what I'm saying? If you're not there to handle it. So,
Yeah.
And I wanted to say, there was one comment I wanted to. Oh yeah, the wins, right? So let's get to the wins that guys were posting. Vinyl Chapter he said conversation is so ironic. Went to Big Pooh's album release party last night in Raleigh. Shout out to Raleigh, and Raleigh is North Carolina, if I remember correctly. Um, and opening act Shame Gang talked about losing his brother. We all know we're going to experience it. Yeah, and that's the thing, man. You know what's going to happen at some point. So it's important, to just address it. Linda Sun said, my wins for the week are getting a key light, a fill light for my channel.
That's what's up.
Getting his lighting down.
Hey,
Let's go, bro.
getting the lighting up. That's what's up, bro.
Getting closer to the elusive 1K subs. I'm on a grind, having fun along the way. And yo, shout out to if you're not subscribed to Linda Sun, man, go show that brother some love, man. He does some dope cookups, and he's here every week showing love, man. Appreciate you, big dog. Like I said, next time we're in Philly, I'm up in Philly. We're going digging, bro. We're gonna do that collab. Trader to the Living said, put on a big 10th anniversary or 10th birthday party for my daughter with a bunch of her friends and family. It was a big win for me to see her so happy.
That's
bro.
Those
moments, man.
That's memories, man.
Everything. Yeah.
That's memories. That's one of the things that we talk about that's important, is like creating those memories, man. And birthday parties are huge, man, especially to like little girls, man. They'll remember that forever,
Mm-hmm. Viral Beat said, Destructo bought my MPC Live 2 and gifted it to another DJ. Changed his life and helped me out in the process. Now,
that's what's up.
Yo, we always big up Destructo, man, because Destructo is out here just, he's being a blessing in his way, man, which is like, whatever his financial situation,
he's got to be doing pretty good, man. But my man is like Thanos, bro. I need to see your face.
He's like Oprah. He's like Oprah in the producer street. So you know what I'm saying? He's showing mad love to the community.
I'm just saying,
does change
man.
Lives, bro, and that's part of Destructo's legacy, right? Like, it's not like to this day, if he never did another favor for anybody else like that, we still know where Destructo's heart is at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's such a good dude. And I remember Lifted Noise talking about like, yo, where you get a name like Destructo? Well, you know what I'm saying? You out here being producto, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you being producto, but you got your name is Destructo.
It's funny, man. It's funny, but shout out to Destructo, man. He's a huge blessing for the community in a lot of ways, man. He shows support. He stops by to a lot of guys in the community and shows love on their work, man. And then there's also like the donations and just, bro, you're just an amazing dude, man. So we really appreciate you, Destructo.
Yeah, for real, man. Already. Yeah, like like I said, like he hit me up. He hit me up, man, and like I said, but I seen him do it on Lifted Noises chat. We had talked about, because if you guys don't know, like Lifted Noises he's a dedicated, father and all that stuff too, man. And this, like, he loves doing YouTube and stuff like that. But like, if you guys know about the grind of YouTube, man, like you do it for a long time without receiving any benefits, Yeah. So, it's like some people, like, that's how some people, like, they quit. They quit because, some it's not financially, like, and just to see that, because that meant a lot for Raul, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like when he got that donation, and it meant a lot to me to see that, that it helped, you know what I'm saying? Like somebody that I respect it. You know what I mean? Like it was a blessing to see that. Like I actually like shed tears. I told him on
you were emotional, man.
I was, bro, because I'm like, like so much work goes into this, and it's like a lot of non-selfish work too, because like we really want to bring value and to actually be rewarded for it, man, because when you give those type of donations, man, you gotta really be rocking with somebody. I don't care how much money you get. You're not dropping like that type of money for no reason, Yeah. So it just like not only did it help financially, but it also like reassured, like, it reassures you that you're doing the right thing and you're resonating with people. You know what I mean?
Fact.
So appreciate it.
Yeah, man, absolutely. So yeah, man, I don't know if I don't want to continue to harp on certain things, man. I feel like I've addressed certain points that were really important for this episode for me personally. mostly, but I kind of wanted to just let everyone know that like we're gonna start taking more of a direction on like that on this show, man. Just more. We try to come with practical steps on our episodes. One of our best performing episodes was with Damani, and Damani just he did really well on TikTok, and was it like basically he made a lot of money with one beat.
He made like $40,000 in like
A
two
quarter. It
months.
was like, yeah, it was
Yeah.
like $37,000 in a quarter, in royalties and I mean he set it up where he got paid twice for everything. His publishing, he got paid his streaming fees or whatever, streaming dues or whatever. So we want that's probably our most popular episode. I think it just exploded the last couple months, and I still get a ton of comments on it, and it's funny because it was really out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It was just kind of spur of the moment. We saw what he did. He posted his results in MPC Gang, and we wanted to share it with everybody. Um, so if there are people in the community that you guys are looking at that you think whose story would be great and helpful, you know what I'm saying, for our community, feel free to suggest them. Um, I try to reach out to as many guys in the community as possible. Next week, we're trying to have Knock Squared, Uncle Knock on next week. That brother is just he's got
Yeah.
a lot going on. He's got like moving and stuff. I think he's moving, but we tried to touch base the last couple of weeks. But he said next week he's down to be on. So I'm going to get him on
We,
here and
we got
Knox
more
Squared.
people.
Yeah, we got more people, but Knox Squared has been, if you do a little research on him, he's been making music since the late '80s, bro. Like,
Mm.
record deals in the late '80s. So that's going to be an interesting conversation, staying relevant, for 25 plus years. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because that's hard. That's hard to do. It
Yeah, I
really
mean
is.
his YouTube channel is doing really well. He's killing it on TikTok and Instagram. Like he's just an entertaining guy, bro. And he does it, with the beats, and he's a machine user. So it's an uphill battle. Let me stop. But nah, he's definitely a super talented dude, man. And I love what he does, man. So it's gonna be exciting to talk to him. But we definitely want our direction on the show going forward is to have as much practical, as many practical steps as we can. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I would really love to do an episode on securing our royalties. On Damani got into it a little bit, but I would love to have somebody on to talk about ways, the steps, just practical steps, and maybe we'll make it into like a PDF or something where we can just everybody in the community can download it. A simple process, on where we need to go to make sure our ducks are all in a row. So when we release stuff, we're getting paid from all the different revenue streams that we deserve. You know what I'm saying? Because again, it's not just about putting the money in our pocket; it's about our next generation. And like I said, something like what happened with my family probably could have been avoided with today's technology, where my family would have got the proper royalties, or at least close to it, from my grandfather's work. You know what I'm saying? And I would hate to see part of breaking generational curses for me is breaking them for other people too. Is making
Yep.
sure that the mistakes that or the that I make or my family has made, or somebody important who has made, make sure we learn from those mistakes and we correct them going forward, so we get the most benefit for ourselves and our future generations. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
big part of the
We
show going forward.
we man, I lost my train of thought,
No,
man.
it's all good. Shout out to Ghetto Styles too. We got to have you on the show, bro, because Ghetto Styles is another entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Straight, you could tell, man, his hustle is A1. So I
Yeah.
would love to get him on here to talk about some of his hustle tactics. You know what I'm saying?
Ghetto Styles is a gear. He's a gear slut too. That
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
That
But
man
he
got
earns
more.
it though. You
Got
feel me?
more.
Like he
He
he's
got.
out he's out here turning a profit with it.
Yeah, man. Like I said, it's he's a great dude, man. He's one of those people that I met in person too. So like I got to like experience him in the flesh, and
Yeah.
he's a cool dude, man. Laid back, man. You could tell he came from the way, but he doing great. He doing great things with his life. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, just shout out to Ghetto Styles, man. That's my man's.
Yeah, we need to line that episode up, bro. We definitely need to
Yeah.
line that episode up. But yeah, man, anything else you want to address, before we jump off?
I just want to go through the chat one last time, and then just give the last ending stuff. the normal boring things that we have to do
Yeah, shout out
for
to
the channel.
Destructo too. Thanks, you guys. I'm honored to have met you all. You all have been an inspiration. Yeah, man,
Yeah,
good dude, bro.
yeah, bro. We got let me see. I thought we had one. Yeah, because we got to get Marlo Diggs. We're not getting Marlo Diggs. We're getting who else
Yeah,
we getting on
I'll
here?
reach out to Marlo Diggs. Yeah, definitely.
But we got who else are we supposed to have on here? We just man, I'm tired right now, bro. I ain't
Yeah,
even gonna lie.
it's all good.
But
No, we'll line it up. It's still tentative. Like I have a list. And I was on top of it a couple weeks ago, but everything that went on, I kind of lost my train of
Masada,
thought with the
that's what I was
show.
talking about.
Oh, Masada, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, we're gonna try to line that up. Masada doesn't do the camera, so it's gonna have to be a call. Um, so we're gonna try to hook it up, man. We're gonna try. He doesn't do
Let-
the camera at all. He's definitely low key in that respect.
I'm just saying, like Linda son said, he watched the episode with me and Ghetto Styles where we almost got blew up by the fireworks. That was the thing, man. We really thought we was about to get lit up for real. That was
And we get a
real.
lot of requests for Milo Beats. So yeah, I'll reach out to Milo Beats, man. See if we can get him on here. A couple of y'all asked for Milo Beats.
But just going into the boring stuff, we appreciate you guys always by coming out and what I'm saying, support us. We have our individual channels too. So I have the Kingo Caesar, Lifted Noise have listed Lifted Noise, and of course we're right here on I Am Sight's channel. If you're not subscribed to our individual channels, we would appreciate it if you could go over and subscribe to our individual channels too. If you want to support, there's ways that you can support. You can donate if you want to. You guys don't have to do that, but you guys can donate to the channel, and we're coming up with things to bring you guys, like value too. So we're working on creating like a free sample pack for you guys, that what I'm saying. And all we just trying
That's one
all
of
we
many. Yeah, like
yeah, what I'm
that's one
saying.
of,
So
I have some really dope merch ideas. I'm working on, and even more so, just not just merch, but just something to kind of symbolize the movement in a cool way. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
I'm working on some fire, y'all. I would have already had it. I would have already presented it, but it's gonna take another couple of weeks before it's like polished. But
And
we got some really dope stuff coming off, man. Coming up, and because the merch thing is not just like, yo, support the channel. It's like this, man. This is
yeah,
this is Vincent right here. You feel me? Like, I'm gonna have this for life, and
yeah.
God bless that brother, man. God bless Vincent. We're gonna miss him, and these things that we leave behind, man, is merch. These tangible, physical things we leave behind, our creations. The things that we work on, our art or whatever. It leaves an impact on people after we're not here, man. So
and I
it's
just wanted
important.
to
Yeah,
and
go
I
ahead.
just wanted to say too, like, if you don't have to support monetarily. If you don't, the biggest thing you guys can do for us is hit the like button and
It's,
subscribe. That
yeah.
helps the algorithm. Share this video with people that you feel like might need to hear this message, or people in the community that you don't think watch the channel. If you could do that, that would be a huge help to us. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying?
Absolutely. Yeah,
So
that like button is huge, man. It means a lot, bro. It really means a lot. So as John Connor said, please have an Akai stream about these recent haters misinterpreting the hardware. Yo, and I kind of caught wind of what's going on with that a little bit. That the Ben, I forgot his last name. Yo, he's a
yeah,
good dude, man. Like, his channel, I just stumbled upon it like 2 weeks ago, and he's a very thorough guy on his videos. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's what you're referring to, but some people were calling him a hater.
yeah,
I don't think he's a hater. I think he has preferences, but I do typically address people who don't really know how to use the hardware that well or whatever. But not for nothing, bro. Like, this latest update has had a ton of glitches, so I'm not going to be jumping up to defend Akai on the glitch situation, because I'm
yeah.
experiencing some issues too. A lot of people in the community are going through it. I just hope they get this next update out and it fixes a lot of stuff, because, man, I haven't been touching on it that much. You know what I'm saying? I haven't been able to make beats like that the last couple of weeks, but bro.
I haven't either, man. Really, like, I just upgraded my MPC Live to like has beautiful gold knobs and stuff on it now. Like, I haven't even
Mm-hmm.
been able to show. the community like that,
Yeah.
But yeah,
But I
Akai,
gotta catch up on Ben Jordan. Yeah, I gotta catch up on that
yeah,
situation, man. Because I saw a couple of his videos. I thought they were super dope and super creative. Like he was like going into the woods, doing sound recordings where there was like no human noises. Like, yo, he goes the distance for his channel. I love channels like that, man. But yeah, I didn't see the thing about the MPC yet, so I gotta check that out. I said Av McCree got tied in it somehow, some way, and I'd love to have Av on too. So I got to reach out to him, man. But
that
yeah, bro,
viral
we
beat
we
said
got a lot of work to do.
good group of old heads up in here.
I tried to cut the grades down, man. I still look like an old head, I guess.
Yeah, man. I'm 30. I'm 35, man. I shouldn't have this many.
Look,
I'm only
man,
35.
I'm the elder male in my family now, man. I'm officially the patriarch of my family, so it's a big responsibility. But I know my pops did as much as he could to prepare me for the time, man. So I'm just looking forward to trying to do the best for my family. That's all, man. So I'll take on the old head status gladly. You know what I'm saying? Looks like I'm the chief. I'm the chief now, and I got to, you know what I'm saying? It's like, when what was T'Challa? What was his dad's name?
T'Chaka.
T'Chaka.
Yeah, T'Chaka.
When it was his time to go, you know what I'm saying?
Whatever,
it's time for T'Challa to take over. So, I guess I got to step up, man, and be the Black Panther for my family. You know,
got to be the Black Panther, the light-skinned version.
The light-skinned version.
Michael B. Jordan.
Lighter than that, bro. You know what I'm saying? If the next one got I don't know who would play me these days, but yeah. That's definitely light. But yeah, bro, we being goofy now, man. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in, man. We're gonna make these next shows even better. But very important episode. We had to get it off our hearts, man, and honor both, not just my father, but also Vincent, and all our lost MPC Gang brothers and our producer brothers, man. Definitely, man. Heavy on our hearts, man. We're gonna live on in their honor, and appreciate y'all, man. We're gonna tune out on that note. Catch you on the next episode. Peace.
Peace.